Yo, what is good YouTube? Today we're back with another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the two new Paradox Pokemon that were revealed earlier today, and that is Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. Just want to touch on them and basically talk about what I think they're going to do in the competitive scene, sets that we might see early on, and yeah, basically just my overall opinions on these mons. So to start off with here, we're going to talk about Walking Wake. Now, Walking Wake is definitely my favorite of the two new Pokemon. And this Pokemon I think is going to be really, really good. It has a really nice speed stat at 109, which is, it's in this weird spot where it's like, it's not as good as it probably would have been in past gens. Like, there are a lot of mons sitting around that, 106, 108 speed, which kind of does force you into like a timid max speed, position. But at the same time, when you've got 109 speed, you are really, really quick. You've got 125 base special attack, which is like the same as Hydreigon. And as I said, you got access to stuff like Draco Meteor, so that's really, really good. And this thing's natural defense is actually pretty good. 99 HP is really solid. 91 defense is pretty good. 83 special defense isn't the best, but we do have a set later on that we'll talk about that kind of fixes it up, I guess. But yeah, and then this here is just a pretty standard set. I think this is going to be just like again, a pretty standard set that we'll see a bit. It's just a Hydro Steam Draco set. So for those who don't know, Hydro Steam is this mon's signature move. It's 80 base power special water move, but the crazy thing with this move is in Sun, the power is actually boosted by 50%, similar to a water move in Rain. So this mon has the ability to function in both Sand and Rain, and I think it's going to be a staple on Sun teams going forward, because like it is like your anti-Rain team and it's your anti-like counter Sun team, right? Like, I'm pretty sure this mon actually one-shots Groudon with like 252 special 252 HP with like no investment in the Sun, which is kind of whack. And then obviously Draco Meteor is just like a really, really good move. And yeah, I think this will be a pretty standard set. Like, this flamethrower could be like anything. This one has, again, has a pretty deep move pool. Like, there's a few moves it can learn. Like, if you have a look, you've got access to Snarl. Snarl, I think, is a can't spell apparently. Oh god, my finger's in the wrong spot. Snarl. There we go. So you get access to Snarl. Really good move there. Oh god, boys, I can't type today. And we've got a few just other cool special moves, yeah. So again, you got Snarl, you got Hurricane, Hydro Pump, which probably never run Hydro. Obviously, access to Terra Blast. We spoke about Snarl. Like, this mon, I guess its move pool isn't as deep as I thought it was, but it has a lot of coverage, which is really good. Like, this one doesn't really need to run stuff like Terra Blast, I don't think. And on this set too, we just have Terra Steel, just because I think Terra Steel really helps this mon with basically its weaknesses, right? Like, its main weaknesses, you're looking at something like Fairy and you're looking at Dragon, right? They're like your two main weaknesses. Like, obviously, like Steel can kind of be annoying, but it's like neutral, so it doesn't matter that much. And then the biggest one actually is Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle Freeze Dry obviously like messes this mon up. You do not want to have to take Freeze Dries. That's the last thing you want. So Terra Steel helps you with the Freeze Dry, helps you with the Fairies, it helps you with the Dragons. I think this is going to be like a pretty stock standard set. I don't know how popular this one will be, because I think some of the others are going to be really good, but we'll touch on those in a second. But yeah, I think Walking Wake definitely going to be a fantastic mon. And I think this set is going to be really good. So the next set I want to take a look at here is a set I built specifically for a Sun team. So we've got the two main stabs. Once again, we've got Hydro Steam and Draco Meteor. Again, Hydro Steam in the Sun is insane. It's basically 120 base power and then stab on top of that. Really, really good. And then we have Flamethrower with Terra Fire. Now, as I said earlier with the Terra Steel, is the Terra, like obviously Terra Steel is really good into the Ice, the Dragon, and the Fairy. Right now, while Terra Fire doesn't obviously help us with the Dragon, it helps us with the Fairy, the Freeze Dry, and the Steel type. So obviously just a really good defensive type there. And I think this spread here in particular would be really good in Sun. Again, we're going for the speed boost off the Sun with our photosynthesis. We went to just 179 simply because of Life Orb chip, and then basically dump the rest in special attack, just splitting our last 2 points. Like, personally, when I've got odd numbers like this, I love just putting my 4s in here rather than just going something like this, just because I don't know if it's me or it's just OCD. I just like when they're even numbers, so that's why. But yes, I do think this will potentially be this mon's best spread. I think it is going to function incredibly well in Sun. This is definitely one of the sets I'm going to be trying out as soon as this is available in the game. Even if I can't play it, obviously with Koraidon, just the ability to play it alongside Torkoal, maybe something with like Priority, Sunny Day, something along those lines. But I do really think this mon in Sun is going to be insanely good. Now, the next set here too is actually another preferred set of mine. So this is actually the Assault Vest set. Now, this mon is naturally pretty bulky, but obviously its special defense stat, while it's a base 83, it's not bad. It's not like amazing, right? But this mon, I think, will function insanely good as an Assault Vest user, right? As we said, we've got the two main stabs. We've spoken about that with every set. I think they're just insane. But this mon has access to Snarl, which is, again, really good, especially, if you're like a bulky special attacker. You're a bulky Assault Vest user, yeah? And then you obviously you want to bring this thing into special attack is stuff like, you know, the Armor Rouge, you know, Indeedee stuff, Side Spam, whatnot. You got this Assault Vest, you're making yourself really bulky on the special side, and then you start spamming Snarls and basically just reducing all the enemy special attack, which is like insanely good. And then the other thing on this set too is Breaking Swipes. Now, look, you probably don't have to run Breaking Swipes on this, but I think just having the utility to potentially be there to not only hit both mons, but reduce their physical attack too could be really good. Like, you've already got so much special defense with the Assault Vest that Breaking Swipe could definitely see play. And I definitely think a spread like this could be really, really good. Now, in terms of my stat spread, 156 speed is specifically just for all the people who are kind of creep that that Great Tusk mark at the minute. Like, obviously, you know, you've got the Arcanites who are going like 154, and then everyone's kind of playing around that 154, 156. Again, this could definitely change in the future. I don't think this is going to be like the standard for Walking Wake going forward, but something like this is just simple, right? We go to the second break point, basically dump everything else in HP, split our defenses. And splitting your defenses too is really important with AV because Pokemon rounds down, so you want to be a whole number rather than an odd number. So that 1 point obviously just gives us a bit more value out of the Assault Vest. And then the last set too for Walking Wake I want to speak about is actually like potentially my favorite. I don't know, it's right there with the Sunset, and it's actually the Rain set. Now, because I do have this on Rain, I have gone Booster Energy, Terra Flying, and the reason for that is we have the Hurricane. So Hurricane in the Rain with the Terra Flying is going to be absolutely sick, fantastic, just really, really good. And then on top of that, obviously, again, we've spoken about it, the dual stabs, but having Draco at its base 130 power special attack that hits almost everything for at least neutral is really, really good. And then again, Hydro Steam in the Rain, you're talking about an 80 base power stab move in the Rain. It's just insane. I think this set could also pop off. Like, this could be really, really good depending on, you know, if you've got to put your booster elsewhere. But most Rain teams at the minute anyway are only running booster if you've got something like Jugulis on it. But yeah, I think Walking Wake is going to be a fantastic mon. This is definitely something I can't wait to get my hands on for like official VGC ladder. Probably the second this thing is basically eligible to be used on the ladder, that'll probably be my first video, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so now that we're done with the Walking Wake, we have Iron Leaves. Now, Iron Leaves, unfortunately, I do not think is going to be as flexible as Walking Wake was. I think its sets are somewhat limiting, but it definitely has the potential to shine. So I think a pretty standard set we're going to see here is kind of like what my EVs are, or at least just touching on it. This mon's bulk is actually really nice. 90 HP, while it isn't as nice as Walking Wake's, and its 88 defense is, you know, roughly the same. Its 108 special defense is really nice. Like, that's really, really nice. 130 attack, which is really, really good. Like, 130 attack's really solid. And 104 speed, while I think in most formats is like decent, right? You're faster than Guard Jump and whatnot. At the minute, with all the other Paradox mons running around, it does feel a little slow, but still, you know, hitting 171 max speed is actually still pretty decent. So this set here that I've got, basically with the sorry, you've got to go 252 Jolly, obviously, to get the speed boost, because I do feel like speed is going to be really important. And with this set here, I think it's actually pretty nice. We've got the 156, obviously, we're just understating our speed by 1, so we get the speed boost, and 100 HP. I think the 100 HP as well is going to be like really good, just because this mod's like so naturally bulky as it is. And then for the moveset, it's pretty simple, right? We've just got the Leaf Blade, we've got the Side Blade. These are their two, basically it's two main stabs. Actually, I do need to touch on Side Blade as well. So Side Blade, being its signature move, working similarly to the Hydro Steam, where it works in both Sun and Rain. This works in both Psychic Terrain and Electric Terrain. And what I mean by that is, in Electric Terrain, this move gets a 50% bonus to its damage, similar to Hydro Steam. So basically gets like a stab bonus on top of it. And then obviously in Psychic Terrain, you're still getting the bonus as well. So I think this mon's definitely going to be something that can function really well inside of the terrain, because similar to, I guess, Walking Wake, where maybe it's not as good because like Walking Wake can like be a counter to opposing Sun, where I don't think this mod's really a counter to, you know, opposing Psychic Terrain, because like I don't think the terrain wars are as important, at least not right now, with how good Koraidon's probably going to be. But yeah, the ability to, I think, just set up the, just to deal massive damage with your Side Blade is going to be really good. And then we've just thrown Sacred Sword on this. Basically, like, this one also has access to close combat, but I think this is just really good into Dondozo. Like, the ability to bypass its defensive bonuses is, like, really, really good. And then Protect, because it's just standard. And then Terra Steel was just because this one's resistances are pretty damn bad. Like, it's really rough for it. So Terra Steel just kind of fixes it up. You know, you're 4x weak to Bug, you're weak to Dark, which obviously, like, you know, that doesn't really help with. But yeah, this one just has a lot of weaknesses that I think Steel can make up for. Like, obviously it doesn't unfortunately get rid of the fire weakness and whatnot, but I think this definitely is like the best type in terms of just getting rid of as many weaknesses as we can. And so the next set we have here is just a pretty similar one. Again, it's a boost energy set because we're out here trying to boost up our speed. Actually, sorry, that's a lie. This is not, it's a boost energy set, but it's actually an attack damage set. That's right. So we've got the 252 speed. The main reason for 252 speed is, again, similar to Walking Wake. We're trying to just catch everyone trying to creep for the trying to catch everyone creeping for the Great Tusk. That's like the main thing. On this set too, the big difference here is actually the Terrifier. So Terrifier, again, kind of patches up some of those weaknesses that the grass didn't. Sorry, that the steel didn't. Again, it gives us a fire resistance this time. Another really big one too, actually, is obviously the bug resistance. But I think fire can work so well with this because, like, obviously grass is like resists the ground typing, and the water type, which obviously fire is weak to. So I think fire and grass, like terror and normal typing, do synergize really well together. The set is almost the same, but we threw Sword Dance on it. I think Sword Dance on this mon is going to be a staple. I do think this set, maybe, like, if you look at the other set, you drop Sacred Sword, you put Sword Dance on it, really depends, but this set could definitely see a lot of play. It's got a really nice speed tier, as we said. Like, it's nothing amazing, but you're able to outspeed a lot of the slower mons, you know, with Adamant, which is really big. And again, with this spread here, this is basically just going to our second bump. I believe it was maybe our third bump. No, it is our second bump. So it's just going to our second bump. We're going Adamant and just dumping the rest in HP. Again, this mon's defensive stats are really nice, so just dumping the rest in HP is fine. But yeah, I do think a Terrifier set on this is going to be really good. The next set we have here is a speed boosting set with a bit of a slight change to it. Obviously, we've got the dual stabs. I think the dual stabs on this mon are just really good, but we actually have Quash. Now, this is really interesting because while obviously this mon as a speed control mon isn't as good as, say, like, you know, a boost and iron bundle, the ability to actually just straight up make them go last opposed to dropping their speed by 1 is insane. Now, again, this is not something I expect to see a lot, but it's definitely something where, you know, maybe in tournament it's not going to be as good, but on ladder, definitely you're going to be able to catch people off guard with this. Like, you know, again, like, say you're rocking something like a Torkoal, like, you know, for whatever reason you're doing Iron Leaves Torkoal, yeah, and then, like, you just quash someone, and then, like, you know, this mon that, you know, maybe should have picked up all of a sudden gets picked up, is, yeah, really good. But yeah, again, Terrifier, I think Terrifier will probably be this mon's best Terror type going forward. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but yeah, I do think this is probably its best set. Sorry, not its best set, its best Terror type, and definitely one of its better spreads. I think Jolly Max Speed Booster will probably be this thing's best spread, but again, I don't know until I try it. But the last set I do have here is actually another pretty interesting one, and this is an Assault Vest set. So again, we spoke about how defensive this mon is, right? With its, like, you know, really nice HP. That's why we've got basically near max. And a special defense stat, like, you look at this stat here, 128 is insane. You put an Assault Vest on that, this mon is so bulky on the special side, like, so bulky. It's actually wild. And then again, like, you know, we go Jolly 156 again, just to basically outspeed what we need to outspeed. And then we have the rest in attack. Now, a cool thing with this set here is, so obviously, again, we've got the dual stab plus Sacred Sword. Again, Sacred Sword, I just love it for being able to bypass defenses. But then in the last lot, we actually have Trailblaze. Now, I do think this mon could definitely look to be like the best Trailblaze mon in the game, which is kind of crazy. Because again, this mon has like a really nice base attack stat, right? So if you're in a position where you can like get this thing in and start getting up, you know, some Trailblazers, especially like when you're so bulky with AV and whatnot, this thing can be insane. And like the best thing too, when you have something like Trailblazers, like you don't even have to be this fast, right? Like you look at this, like you could drop this to something like 143 for Dragon Bolt. Granted, I don't think you're going to run into Pulse, but again, like all of a sudden you've got 220 investment in attack. Like this mon, I think could definitely pop off in the right situation. Like I do think it has that potential to be like really good, but I'll have to wait and see. I think it can definitely get like some good placement, but again, we have to wait and see how good it's going to be. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think of the new Paradox mods. Again, I'm super excited to try out Walking Wake. I think this mod's going to be really good. I cannot wait to play it on a Sun team, especially we've got the tournament coming up in like 2 weeks. The what is it, the Paldea Prologue, for those who don't know. I'll definitely be playing in it. Unfortunately, I don't think I can use Walking Wake in this one, but in the format, we do have access to Koraidon, so like, it just makes me so excited for the day where I can actually play with Walking Wake and Koraidon in the same patch. It's going to be unreal. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for today. Let me know what you guys think again down below with these mods, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.